nice. Yeah. So like all the stuff that you just randomly tried in squads now and again were just in the routine. So I think that helped quite a lot with your score, because like your high bar is a bit different to a lot of other people's high bars. Like traditional high bar workers will do like all the releases, like the same releases. They'll do like the Kovacs type releases. So Cassina, Coleman, and then they'll do straight straddle, all that sort of stuff. But then your body type isn't quite suited to all that sort of stuff, and you will thrive more with the Gaylord and the Pagan and all that sort of stuff that you're now starting to do. So I think that is helpful. What other releases have you sort of been looking at? Like, I know you said Pagan and Death, but what else is there?
I've been looking at Kovacs, like actions, because then I could possibly link Pagan and Kovacs together in the future. But to be fair, I haven't really looked at any other releases. I was thinking of starting doing Jaeger again, so looking at Winkler as well. But I feel like it's a very different action to Gaylord and Pagan. Obviously, it's the same hect action, but it's earlier, and I'm not prepared to sacrifice the one release I have at the minute for another one which might not happen.
That's fair enough, actually. Yeah, I was wondering because I think Jaeger would work with you. I guess if you're not willing to sacrifice the other technique just because it's like quite similar, that's fair enough though. And I think what's Pagan worth this code?
This code it's worth an E. It's going up to an F.
What's it going? Okay, right. So yeah, that's definitely worth doing. Plus, if you got the Def, which is a G, are you planning on connecting anything into the Def, or just leaving it?
What, like Def into something else?
No, as in something into Def.
Oh, probably not. No, Ben wants me to try Pagan Def, but Paul was like, "No, he's not doing that."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I can imagine why he wouldn't want you doing that. Yeah, I think with all like the huge release combinations, I think you're better off doing a slightly smaller skill like a squat half or like a straight catch if into a bigger skill to get the 2/10s, and then use the other skill to get a different connection. Like you said with the Pagan, possibly into a Kovacs, that would be a 2/10 connection. But then if you learned squat half, put that into the Def, then you would get another 2/10 connection bonus. So I think that would be more worth doing than Pagan into Def, for example. Yeah, it's just a thought. Because me and Hamish were talking on here about like all the different combinations you could do. Yeah, thought about some really weird ones. Crazy ones, I should say. So there was like straight catch of Def, which I'm sure someone's going to do at some point, which is worth the same as squat half Def. But then you can also do like Lucan Ginger, which is the same as that.
Yes, I've seen that.
And again, I'm sure someone's going to do that. But then he said, "Oh, what if you did Lucan Def? Well, that's a GG, and you're still only getting 2/10 for that. And it's probably more worth doing a DG twice or a GD than doing GG because it seems like a lot of risk for not as much reward because you're only 3/10 up for that, and then you've got a G to use elsewhere as well. So yeah, it's just something to think about. Because I think, what do you think the biggest changes next code will be, like apparatus wise? What's going to change most?
Well, obviously the 8 skills, because it's going to be, I feel like there'll be a lot more there's a lot more risk and like potential injury. Because if you're trying to put up your start score with your biggest 8 elements, that is that's a massive risk. Whereas if you had the 10 skills, you can get away with having like a C within the routine. But if people are whacking E wherever they can, it's a different story.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So what apparatus do you think are going to change most?
I think it will have to be floor, because I feel like people you'll see like cartwheels down the side, but then I feel like there'll be a lot more creative things like there'll be a lot more like double down the side or triple twist or 3.5.